Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this special edition of Anime 101 Pirate Edition. That's right. We're going to talk a little bit of One Piece, and I'm waiting for the friggin' Rumble stream to go live. It should be live. There we go. Now I see it's live. Hello, everyone over on Rumble. Hello to everyone over on YouTube. And for you YouTubers, I want to say hello to you because I can click on you. Clifton, it's way early for you. Good morning. Same with you, Genesec. Good to have you here. And RC Scott, welcome to you. And producers on Pat S. Pat caught the virus of unknown origin that is masquerading as the flu, which is basically what it is. So good to have you here. And hello to Wet Brown. Welcome to you. Great to have you here. Yeah, it's anime time. We're gonna talk a little bit of One Piece, and I think for the video clip section, we're going to have to go exclusive to Rumble because they don't like us. They don't like us having fun on YouTube. No, they don't. No. And yes, this is going to have spoilers specifically for talking Post-Alabasta, the filler arc, so the few episodes there. Starting Sky Island, we're going to talk a little bit of Goat Island, Reluca Island, and then we'll talk Jaya, and we'll talk the first 10, 11 episodes of Skypiea because of how big Skypiea is. It's a very long one, so. And it was good to have you here, Genesec. Definitely check it later once you've had a chance to check those episodes. So, yeah, it's good to have you here. Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna have some spoilers. So, and hello, Leia. It's good to have you here. And without further assuasion, let's bring on my first mate. It's Ironcaster, Army Matey.
Yar army buckos, how do we do this day here in the glorious lands of Skypiea?
Oh yes, Skypiea, the Sky Islands. Oh, it's been it's been such a trip getting there. Such a difficult task to get up to the Sky Islands.
Oh, the Skypiea is real. I feel like we can let that spoiler out of the bag.
Yeah. Yes, the islands in the sky, they do exist. They do exist. And I do also want to say hi to everybody who's out there on Twitter land. If you are watching this on Twitter, be sure to click on the Rumble link. That'll be the best way to come and interact with us here a little later. So let's see here. Genesec is saying, before he goes, FGO's doing a Halloween event using Vlad and Carmilla for it, so I might need spare blood. Oh, we need some spare blood. You ask and you shall receive. Where the hell did my spare blood go? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it this one? No. Is it this one? No. Shit, where'd it go?
Try that one.
Here it is. Here's your spare blood.
Until then, you'll spare blood.
Jeez, fun.
Also, tell that guy to stop spying on me. It's creepy. Shit. Now that I'm all by myself, I can just kick back and
Shots fired from the penthouse suite on the top floor. The initial SWAT team has not reported back, leading officials to fear what's worse. The terrorist duo inside is comprised of a young British woman and some Ozzy Osbourne-looking motherfucker.
On the phone. Get him on the phone. I want him on the phone right now!
Hold on a minute. I gotta take this. Hello?
And I like how he has Elton John's The Bitch Is Back playing on his phone. Oh, the bitch is back.
I'm gonna have to sit down and actually watch through Hellsing and not just the abridged.
Ooh, with this month being the month of Halloween, I think we're gonna do that. That sounds like a good idea. I think Saturday, right after the show, watch party, 2 episodes of Hellsing Ultimate until we're completed. I tried to start it last year. We're gonna finish it, damn it. We're gonna do it. And then for fun, we're also gonna do Abridged. Indeed, and I'll even splurge for the good quality for Discord. So we'll get the full Blu-ray. Yes.
You know,
Oh yes.
with all this vampire talk, I can't help but feel like it would also be a good time of year to bust out the copy of Vampire Hunter D.
Ooh, that would be good to do. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun this month.
I just found out that apparently they're talking about doing like a TV series, or they're doing anime.
Oh my lord, if they do it's been forever. It's been 23 years since Bloodlust came out. They've got 37 light novels. They've got excellent production, audiobook productions of them. It's got the salivation is starting. Oh, that would be so good. That would be super awesome to do. So yes, I think some Vampire Hunter D, some Alucard, some Abridged. I think we'll do it all this month. I think we'll have the time to. Plus, since it is the month of Halloween, we got to build the ultimate horror, suspense, supernatural, and thriller list. Ooh, yes. We need to get started on that soon. So, oh yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. But the fun that I'd like to talk about is our boy Luffy going up and believing that Sky Island exists when no one else is buying it, and then Bellemere gets his ass whooped.
Well, actually, before we do get to that,
yes,
what do you think about just kind of the general like reception One Piece has had? I mean, this has been, now that we're post season 1 of the Netflix live action, the reception to the series as a whole, like the big uptick that I've noticed people getting into about One Piece, like, and people are now getting a chance to go and dive into this amazing series.
Yeah, I have noticed that too. A lot of people that are anime fans, but maybe not giving it the chance because of the size and the length, kind of like me. But I was ahead of the curve. But yeah, I have seen that uptick, and even people that are not really anime or manga fans or care too much about it, the reception to the show has been overwhelmingly positive, and I do believe it has done what it needed to do, and that was to be a competent show that didn't have stupid stuff floating around in it, didn't have the actors or the actresses saying stupid shit about it, which I could be chalked up to the strike, but even before then, none of them said anything stupid. So that helped out a lot.
Yeah, that's effectively been kind of my point about the live action series, that it just had to be a decent enough success to do just that, because now I've started to see some of the more kind of boutique shops, your Hot Topics, your Spencer's, whatever, are kind of getting a bit more One Piece merchandise. I'm starting to see, little things kind of here or there. Like, I don't think people are going to get full on board with it, like, how Dragon Ball basically captured an entire generation in the United States. But, these things come in time. And if One Piece is anything, it is a series you pace yourself with.
Yes.
Give it time. People will accept it more. And with Halloween upon us, I expect to see some One Piece costumes.
Yes, some One Piece costumes and One Piece cosplays. That would be most excellent indeed. And I want to say hello to the Adega Outlaw, the Doctor of Disaster himself is here. Welcome, Adega. And Ted. See, Ted got into One Piece, the anime. And if I remember correctly, Ted, you're loving it. So yes, we are successful in spreading the good word of great anime. So we'll keep it up. We'll keep spreading that good word. And I have absolutely loved my time with One Piece, and I haven't had as much time with it recently because I looked at we put together the watch list. Yeah, even with trimming down for stuff that are movies that are not going to be available here this quarter because they haven't been released. Shows that are coming back that I haven't seen, I still have 40 shows on the watch list for this season. Shit. It's insane how many I've got. But you know what? I think it's going to whittle itself down. I've already whittled one show down, which is it's a good show if you like your, dollar store romance novel type stuff. But for me, it just wasn't going to work. So I'm already down one. So it's moving in the right direction. And yes, did the live action, now working on the anime. Yes, and right now for the first 300-ish or so episodes, Netflix is the best place to watch it because they do have the HD remastered and dubbed for all of those, for that whole first set. They've got it on Crunchyroll, but they don't have it dubbed. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen with Crunchyroll, not having the same release as what Netflix is showing. So if you want to watch for the first 300-400 episodes, you have to do it on Netflix. Unless you decide to be like the Luffy and sail on those seas, army mateys.
I hear the East Blue is lovely this time of year.
Yes, the East Blue is lovely this time of year, especially now that Arlong and his crew are no longer being the scourge of it. Hound 3000, it's good to see you. Great to see you. All right, let's bring up the screen here and let's talk specifically where we're at. So the live action finished at Arlong Park. We have gone through Logetown, the 2 episodes of Buggy's Crew Chronicle. That was funny, and we're not going to really get that in the live action because of how they did it, which is fine. Worship Island was fun. Alabasta, going up Reverse Mountain and onto the Grand Line. Whiskey Peak, the 2 episodes of Kobe and Meppo, which we kind of got in the first half.
Yeah, we'll kind of gotten. I think we might get a continuation of that in season 2 if they choose to keep up Kobe as sort of the B story protagonist.
Yeah, exactly. Although, considering how Kobe looks after he's been trained by Admiral Garp, yeah, I don't see how they could continue to use the same actress to portray him. It's kind of weird saying that, but, whatever. Yeah. I just don't see how she could pull off that big of a change, because it basically is going from Kobe being, let's say, a middle schooler to Kobe being, a fully grown 22-year-old muscular absolute beast of a man. But anyways, so we went through that. Little Garden, Drum Island, Alabasta, and now we are going to talk Post-Alabasta. So the few episode filler arcs that are there. Hop into Sky Island, start with Goat Island, which was fun. Reluca Island, which was also pretty fun. Then we get to the Island of Jaya, and the Secret of Jaya. And then we're going to talk the first few episodes of the Skypiea arc. So, yes, army mateys and Pop Culture Mechanic Pops, it's good to see you. Speaking of which, Pop Culture Mechanic, I have started 2 classic shows. I'm about to start a 3rd one. I have started the Lady Oscar, the Rose of Versailles, or the Versailles, the French Revolution one. I have also started. Of course, my brain had to go and die. Hold on one sec. Let me actually grab it here.
I'm actually not familiar with that first series, so that one you'll have to tell me about, off air.
Let me find it here real quick. Let's see. There we go. In the watching. Oh, come on, Annie List. I know I've got a shit ton of lists, but you can still go a little faster. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Yep, Rose of Versailles, which is it's definitely an interesting one. Let me actually switch screen here for just a second so I can show you. There we go. So it is this one from 1979, The Rose of Versailles. Yep. Raised from birth as a man, the Lady Oscar commands the palace guard at is it not Versailles or it's Versailles? Well, anyways, I've started it. It's good. It's got the old school style. You can see it in their face structures. It's the old style. This is a great one. This really is a good one. And the other one that I started was Space Adventure Cobra.
Oh,
The original Space Adventure
Good man.
Cobra. This was Total Recall before Total Recall existed.
the man with a literal hand cannon.
Yes. Oh, yes. And he has the femme fatale android with him. Yeah. This is a good one. And I am going to start tonight Space Science Team Gotcha Man, because they have that on High Dive.
I was actually just thinking about starting that recently. Like now that I've gone and finished up Saint Seiya, which I just finished up this last month, the 80s Knights of the Zodiac.
Nice.
That was like probably next on my list I was going to start into.
Very nice. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I don't think they can. I don't think they could pull off Alveda as the same character. Not after she takes. Is it what was the fruit that she eats? Is it the Slim fruit?
The slip fruit.
The slip fruit. Yeah, yeah. It's got to be somebody else. Okay, and Clifton says it's Versailles. Vive la France, sons of bitches. Turo, it's good to have you here today too. Yeah, they're all good choices, and I need a little classic in my life. But as you can see, this is what I've still got on my plate this season that's already started, but all of this is still to start. It's a nightmare. It's a good nightmare, but it's still a nightmare.
I don't know how you can do it sometimes. I'll look at the list of like the current airing series, and I'll just like, I almost don't want to start any of them. I'm like,
It's hard.
pick one, but like I don't even know what I want to start with, what appeals. So I'm like, I'll just go watch something off the backlog instead. And then like before you know it, in about 2 or 3 years, one of those now current series will then kind of fall back onto that back catalog, and I'll watch it then.
I can tell you for sure I will finish Helk, because Rurouni Kenshin, and Dark Gathering are all continuations from the summer season. They got the more traditional 24 episode seasons.
Which, if of those 3 or so, which would you recommend if you could only pick one?
If I could only pick one of the 3 to continue, Dark Gathering, by far. This one is the most Japanese occultist show I've ever seen, and it's a good one. It's damn good at what it's supposed to do. So between those 3, I would say Helk. Of course, Rurouni Kenshin is also back, but so I'm going to continue with Helk. I did start My Daughter Left the Nest to Return an S-Rank Adventure. I like it. The first episode was good, so this is going to get the 3 episode minimum. Of course, Rurouni Kenshin. I've binged all 4 episodes of Freyrin so far. This one started a month early, which is strange. So definitely, that one's a good one. Firefighter Diago. Yeah, this is going to be a lit one. I started this one, Ragnar Crimson. I'm not sure what to think about it yet, but we'll see. And then the rest of it
Is that Ragnar Crimson kind of a good one to pick for, say, the October month? Because I'm getting kind of those dark, kind of spooky vibes off it.
Not really. This is a Squeamix fantasy. It does have a mystery to it, but it's got some things that are making me not feel entirely okay about it. So I haven't finished it yet, but we'll see. But as far as the rest of these that are up here, most of these will probably go by the wayside. Some of them are probably okay, but not for me. Like I did start the girl and her bodyguard Yakuza 16-year-old goes to new high school, and her Yakuza bodyguard / parental figure / wannabe boyfriend. That's the romance one that I was talking about, the dollar store romance novel one. It's pretty. It's probably got a good story, but it's not for me. And I've already dropped it, so it's just not going to hold it for me.
Well, it sounds like we are going to have. It sounds like that Halloween list is going to be a necessity for the sort of thing that I'm looking for.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be a necessity, and of course, we've got The show's coming back for their second seasons or new seasons. Goblin Slayer, I'm going to be all over that within 3 days. So, but that's where that stands. And it looks like my interwebs was trying to crap out of me. I hope it doesn't. But let's take a quick Alucard break and let's get into the one of the piece. So we are not gonna go out like a bitch.
Get on your knees!
And I responded with, I'm not your mother last night! And they took exception to that. But you know how that song and dance goes. Huh? And I killed all but one of them.
What happened to the last one?
Pussed out like a bitch.
Oh, someone who never pusses out like a bitch. Luffy. So let's talk where we left off with Alabasta. So, Post-Alabasta, there was a few filler episodes that are not in the manga, but I watched them and I thought they were quite fun. So, the first one we had. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, the first one here I thought was a decent enough one because it gives a chance to kind of going into this little series of episodes. I thought it was going to be a chance to have sort of different crew members in turn, kind of having a moment with Nico Robin to, kind of get a chance to know her a little bit better through the crew members we already have. And for the most part, we got that with the first episode.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, with Chopper and him or Chopper and Nico, and Chopper talking about how Dr. Kirihi was his first patient. So it was a good one. The second one, the Navigator's Mutiny for Unwavering Dream. Nami being Nami. It was okay.
Yeah, it was kind of fun seeing her like geeking out over paper.
She is a paper otaku. She really loves her paper products. Let's see. The third one was Inherited Recipe Sanji, the curry expert. That was a fun one to see. A kid in the Marines not get the help and the encouragement necessary to make his dream come true of being a chef within the Marines, and how Sanji got involved with it. It's all convoluted. I liked it. It was okay.
Yeah, they're pretty good episodes for sort of going back and sort of reestablishing who the Straw Hats are, who the Straw Hat crew members are, and what is the goal they have in life, because their goal for being on the seas. It's a chance to sort of reestablish that after we've had 100 episodes for 100 plus episodes for some of them where we've not gotten a chance to sort of see what makes them tick.
Exactly. And then the next one was I'll Make It Boom, Manly Usopp's 8 Shaku Ball. So this one, they go to an island that has a fireworks expert, and all sorts of shenanigans ensue. But at the end of the day, a gal that wanted to fulfill her parents' dreams, who died in an accidental firework explosion, got to make her dream come true with the help of Usopp.
I think this one might actually be my favorite of these 5 episodes.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean it sort of plucks the heartstrings out a little bit. Just like you have this little girl who wants to live out her dream of just continuing living on this legacy for her parents, and we're able to see that through Usopp of all characters. Yeah,
that's true. And Usopp is Usopp loves his explosive balls that he flings, so I guess it works for him. And it was a good episode. Didn't take too long, got the job done. I like it. Let's see. The last one was Infamous Pirate Hunter, the Wandering Swordsman Zoro. So this goes into Zoro's time in the East Blue when he meets Johnny and Yosaku, and the first job that he helped them with, and everything revolving around them. It was not the best, but it gives you more time to see how Zoro basically took them in, or how, if they were to say it, how they took Zoro in and became bounty hunters on the East Blue. Fun episode. Nothing really to write home about, but definitely worth at least a one time. And then if you ever watch it again, just skip it.
I think this is probably my least favorite of the 5.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
So I guess I should ask you then, in turn, of the 5, which was your favorite?
Well, I've seen the one with Chopper twice. Let's see. I would have to say the one with Sanji, because he bestows upon this kid wisdom of a chef, or what it takes to become a chef, or basically when you start off in the kitchen, you don't start off as the master chef. You always have to start at the bottom, and those that know how to use their instincts can learn, even though they're not doing that right there. And he basically taught the kid to use his mind, use his brain, think about what he's seen, and then apply it. And it worked. I thought that was a fantastic arc. So
yeah, I kind of go back and forth on between the two, and I think for kind of some similar reasons, I might lean more towards the Sanji episode.
yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. So, but yeah, great episodes. Nothing too taxing. Buzz through it in an hour and a half. Then we start the Sky Island arc, and it's a pretty good size one. Haven't finished it quite yet, but the first part of it is a filler arc, which is Goat Island. So with Goat Island, while being chased by the Marines, Luffy and his crew get lost in the fog and discover an uncharted island. They find that the island is inhabited only by an old man named Zenny and a multitude of goats. They also find a partially constructed ship on top of the island. The Straw Hat Pirates help the old man out while hiding from the Marines, led by Moore and, Minchi, and working to get his ship into the water. The arc was excluded from the 4Kids dub. Well, no kidding. But then again, we don't talk the 4Kids here, so nothing too serious, but a nice story about basically about the Straw Hat Pirates being very unpirate-like and helping a fellow wannabe pirate fulfill his dream.
Yep. Yeah, it's just a fun little filler story. They keep thinking this old man's about to die, so they're like trying to treat him as nice as humanly possible while they're hiding on this little island from a bunch of Marines in the fog.
Yeah, and they succeed. They help him get out back out to sea. So, yeah, fun little story. Once again, nothing to write home about. One time through, you probably don't need to see it again. You'll survive, unless you like it that much. But nothing super over the top. And then the second was Reluca Island. Now with this one, let's see, Reluca Island is also referred to as Rainbow Mist. Now this one I really did like. This one has a bit of a twist to it that I don't think we see anywhere else, or at least there was nothing else that was seen prior to this. So this one starts with the Going Merry being chased by a small fleet of Marine ships led by Major Rapanui Pasqua and Isoka. Luffy and his crew barely escape when the Marines' major accidentally sinks one of his own ships. Oops. The crew then makes their way towards an island named Reluca that is ruled by a dictator, who is actually an old pirate that is overtaxing the people in order to build the Rainbow Tower. The island also has a scientist named Henzo, who is researching something called the Rainbow Mist. It is revealed that he is sponsored by the unscrupulous Wetton, mayor of the city and former pirate. Eventually, the Going Merry, with all but Sanji, Nami, and Chopper aboard, get caught up in the Rainbow Mist. Within the mist, the crew discovers a group of children who have been trapped in the mist for many years. Eventually, they find a way out, but when the Straw Hats reemerge, they cannot find the children. The Marines come to arrest them, which are apparently the kids, but say there is no room on their ship due to Wetton and his gang being locked up. The Straw Hats leave the island, and then the ship falls from the sky. So yeah, this one has a bit of a a little bit of time travel and mysticism mystery in it. So it was interesting to have this this mystery box thing that happens. The guy is trying to get back into it or researching how to get back into there so he can, as he puts it, so that way so Henzo can rescue his friends from it. And we get a little bit of back and forth and a few things here and there that kind of hint that, yeah, this is the time travel thing, but it's not until the very end that we fully get it explained to us. So I rather did like this one. It really was a lot of fun.
I like how Henzo looks like John Aston. You know, the original Gomez Adams.
Oh yes. Yes, with a little larger stash. Ah, that's French. Oh. Yeah, he does kind of look like it. But he felt so bad not being able to rescue his friends all those years, so
Dude, this guy was cool. This guy was cool as heck.
Rapa Nui? Yeah.
I like him. Especially, well, this adult version of him.
Yeah, the adult version of him was very cool. I don't think he didn't have any devil fruit power, but he definitely had some abilities to help him with dealing with the pirates that we eventually see. And there he is as a younger man. There he is as in his current age, and he just by flicking a coin he can sink a ship.
I mean, look, it's not nearly as cool as, say, Garp throwing cannonballs, but you got to give it to him with just a coin. He can take a person out.
Yeah, and he uses it to his advantage. And when they finally reveal who he is, when they're up on shore arresting the pirate, what was the pirate's name again? I can't remember.
Oh.
Was it Wetton? Yeah, I think it was Wetton. Well, anyways, when they arrest the pirate and then they arrest his son and then his grandson because they're all oppressive jackholes, he then tells Henzo the story of how they got out, which he witnessed, and how they decided, they got flung back in time about 50 years. So they're like, okay, we've got to do everything we can to be able to make sure that it happens and that we can set things right. So this is their whole pirate crew joining the Marines and on a Marine ship, where eventually he becomes a Marine major or Marine captain, something like that, pretty high up. And of course he becomes much stronger than the pirate captain who got them into that mess to begin with. So,
I mean, that said, I gotta give some credit to the old man, to Wetton, because he at least was able to go and turn that island back into a prosperous, island again after his attack.
The fact that
he was able to worm his way back into leadership, and they didn't just execute him, is pretty commendable, I think.
Yeah, that is true. Until they started taxing everybody to death, but it's one of those things. So, yeah, there he is, the Wetton family. So you have the old pirate captain there, and then you have his son, and then you have his grandson. And he's like, they may be my kin, but they're idiots. So, this is one that I would say this is worth watching again. I really do think it turned out very well, and it was a good one. So, definitely keep your eye out for this one. And don't watch the 4 Kids. Now, moving along, we get into the first course, the first real course of the Sky Islands, and that's the island of Jaya. So, the Jaya arc is the 12th story arc of the manga and anime One Piece, and the first story arc of the Sky Island saga. So, after the Straw Hat Pirates log pose points them towards the sky, they travel to the island of Jaya and work with Mont Blanc Cricket to determine if there is indeed an island in the sky. Well, in the pirate-populated port town of Mocktown, Luffy ends up in conflict with the overconfident and cruel Bellamy. And I'll tell you this. He's a jackass. He's the type of guy that you just want to punch and want to kick in the balls, and you'll be happy to do it anytime that you can. He's such a prick. I can't stand him.
Which means he is perfectly designed, because that is one of the best villains you'd have. Someone who you love to hate, and I would say Bellamy fills that role here.
Yeah, that he does, and obviously he gets a post. That's how he looks pre. That's how he looks post. So we get to see him again, and looks like he actually does something to become worthy of close to 200 million berry bounty on him. But to start with, he only has 55. But he gives Luffy all sorts of trouble, and it was a nice throwback when they get to the tavern where Nami, Luffy, and Zoro are all in there, and then Bellamy and his pirate crew start giving him all sorts of shit, and they just take it. And Nami was acting like how Luffy act back on Windmill Island, basically saying, "Hey, why aren't you kicking these guys' ass? Why are you taking this?" And it was really profound to see Luffy act very much grown up and mature about it, like how his mentor Shanks did.
So speaking of Shanks, I want to bring up one thing kind of loosely connected here.
Mm-hmm.
Shanks has someone sent out to go and try to talk down Whitebeard, which we see in among all this. And dear God, the first time you see Whitebeard.
Let me see if I can find a picture of him. Yeah, a picture it's got to do him justice, because it's so out there. So Whitebeard,
first appearance.
Let me see if I can find a good image of him. Those will work. All right, let me switch screens here. Give me just a second. So here is Whitebeard. The first time we see him, this still doesn't give him justice for the size of him, because he is a monster.
If you'll allow me here, yes. I got one or two little things I want to show off.
Yeah, go ahead and pop him up in here. We'll switch it over. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Colorized manga first appearance.
Yeah, look at the size of him compared to his nurses, or even his crewmen that he sent out. And hello, Paul Baby 74, welcome to you. Great to have you here. Talking some One Piece.
Whitebeard is downing alcohol by the keg. Look at that grip.
Look at the size of that hand. His hand is as big as a keg.
Right. But I also want to bring your attention just to one of these little things that I took notice of kind of in my little read through. Something that you would just notice was also kind of brought up when you were showing off Bellamy.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to zoom in on that medical bag there.
Oh, what's on the?
You see the Jolly Roger, the smile.
Kinda. It looks like it's an upside down one, though.
Yes, but then if we then pull, it's a very, of course, it's a medical bag. It's being hung upside down.
Very true. Is that Bellamy's? Is that his?
It's one of those little things that it means nothing now, but in time is an interesting little bit of world building that Oda had set up well in advance, and I think is commendable here.
Very nice. Yeah, Oda definitely has. He definitely plays the long game, and yeah, Andre would be small compared to Whitebeard.
Look, Whitebeard doesn't palm basketballs; he palms boulders.
Yeah,
he just
he does.
One hand grips.
He's a giant of a man, that's for sure. So
titled in the box there, the strongest man in the world.
That's quite a title and quite an achievement to be the strongest man in the world. He's also probably close to one of the tallest in the world too. When I saw this
at this point,
at this point, when I saw him having all those medical bags, I'm like, wait a minute, is he sick or dying? But he's probably just getting an IV infusion, vitamins and stuff.
But this is all tied into sort of the Ace stuff going on.
Yes, that it is.
Where Shanks has sent out this new guy to go talk with Whitebeard and tell him to call back Ace. Don't pursue Blackbeard.
Yeah, he wanted him back. He didn't want him to go pursue that any further. And there is one thing about, if I remember correctly, with the Jolly Roger, the symbol for Whitebeard, that changed from the original to the anime, and I'm gonna show it here. So you can take it for what it's worth, but they did change it from one to what we have now.
And I think that was more so like the Shonen Jump editorial had a problem with it.
Yeah.
So because that was changed by the time it got to the anime from the manga.
Yeah, that's true. In the anime, it's closer to this one, if I remember correctly.
So by the point they got to Alabasta, and that One Piece had still not come to America yet. Like Shonen Jump had still yet to do this. I think it was like about 2001, 2002, and Shonen Jump wouldn't start being printed in here until like December of 2003.
Okay, that makes sense. He's hard lining around into his veins. Megaloid, welcome to you. Good to have you.
Drinking is not fast enough. You gotta put it in the veins directly.
Absolutely. And Peter Fansite, good to have you here also. All right. So, moving into this, let's see if you can find any video clips or that you maybe want to queue up. We'll go Rumble exclusive here in about let's say at the top of the hour. But let me go through this here. With Princess Vivi safely back in Alabasta and a new crewmate, Nico Robin, on board, the Straw Hats' next adventure begins when a giant ship suddenly falls from the sky. At this point, the log post starts pointing straight up, and Robin explains that the log is captured by an island with a stronger magnetic field, a sky island. While exploring the sinking ruins of the ship, they come across an old map of a land named Skypiea. Through a skull and some books, they figure out that the ship is the Saint Briss, which left the Kingdom of Breeze in the South Blue 208 years ago. This piques the interest of the crew, and they decide to salvage the drunken ship. When they try to salvage the ship for more information, they come across a group of pirates led by Masira. This guy here. Yub. Not quite as big as Groggy and all that, but a big ape. Let's just call him a big ape. So they come across Masira, who claims that he has control over the territory and all ships that sink there belong to him. Masira and his crew begin the salvage operation and are in the process of raising the ship when they run into a snag. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, who were underwater searching the wreck, start beating up Masira's crew. Masira goes down to handle things and confront them, with a giant sea turtle comes along and swallows the ship. Though Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Masira all escape. However, out of nowhere, the sky turns dark and three humongous shadows appear. Out of fear, the pirates run away as quickly as possible. Luckily, Robin manages to take an eternal pose to the nearby island of Jaya from Masara's ship and goes there to find more information. So,
so at this point, like, I gotta ask, for you coming into this, like, it seems like it's a bit of a more kind of low key sort of adventure. Like it's kind of tough, sort of following up Alabasta. But hey, we're at the start here.
Yeah.
What did you think? What did you think at this point?
I was still rather enjoying it. Of course, it doesn't have near the high that Alabasta did, but it's coming off of such a long story arc and going into something different. It's always hard to try and maintain that level. So it was nice to have a little downtime, but definitely this started the upswing back. We're on a slow incline with this at this point.
Well, see, the thing with One Piece is oftentimes you'll get this sort of swing from like art from the arc to the arc, between sagas. You'll go from a really high, you'll go from kind of this low from Drum Island up to the highs of Alabasta. Then we kind of come back down to Jaya, and then we quite literally go back up to Sky Island.
Yes, that we do.
So it's very much like a ship on a turbulent sea. We're riding that out.
Yeah. And even though this is technically a lull for it, I'm not feeling like it was such a lull that I want to drop it. It never feels like I want to give it up because of how slow or boring it may be in comparison to what it was. Because I know it all sets up the good stuff. It really is a bit of a slow burn, and you got to take it. You basically just got to take it with it. So,
yeah. So, I mean, I feel like I should kind of point out for you and just kind of to cue you in. I think a lot of fans seem to kind of hold up Jaya and Skypiea as a bit of a lower arc, but the thing is though, it's sort of right between Alabasta and the next big story arc after this. So while this is good, it's ultimately still a great series. It's tough to follow up Alabasta.
Yeah, that it is. Yeah, Alabasta was so good. It's hard to recreate that or to try to push past it. So I definitely get that. So
I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the two monkey brothers.
Yeah, they are pretty interesting, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, come on, they got these big old kind of orangutan kind of shaped bodies. They got big old grins. They're the kind of guys you would want to drink with after a hard day.
Yeah, that they are. They're definitely very blue collar type of pirates. And they're strong, but they're not overly powerful. So from there, we go to the Dreamless City, Mock Town. Roshio, the Executioner, a pirate with a 40 million berry bounty, wins a poker game against Hyena Bellamy, a pirate with a bounty of 55 million berries. Bellamy accuses Roshio of cheating and gets Sarsquish to back him up. That's the Sarkey to back him up. When Roshio disagrees, Bellamy stabs his hand with a knife and shoots him in the head. Well, he's a pleasant sort now, isn't he? So in the port town of Mocktown, the group of Luffy, Zoro, and Nami encounters several odd people, all of whom are members of the Blackbeard Pirates, until they end up at a hotel. There they encounter Sarkey and Sarkey of the Bellamy Pirates, who insults the group and even gives them some money to buy better clothes. They later end up in the bar, where they encounter Blackbeard himself, though they don't know who he is. After he leaves, Bellamy himself barrages in looking for Luffy, claiming that he wants to test him to see if he's worthy of joining his new age of pirates. However, when Nami asks the bartender for information about Sky Island, Bellamy rejects the notion immediately, and the entire bar starts ridiculing the three. In Bellamy's new age dreams will be worthless. He explains that so many people are focused on searching for dream treasures like the City of Gold and the One Piece, that they ignore all of the real treasure around them. Bellamy attacks Luffy and Zoro, while the other people in the bar start throwing things at them, but despite Nami's urging, they refuse to fight back, paralleling how Shanks and his crew did not fight back against Haguma when he and his crew attacked them at in Meccano's bar on Windmill Island. Yeah, so we did have the throwback there.
Yeah, it is great to see because, like I said, it's that great throwback. But I think this is kind of a really important kind of thing to kind of play at. Is you have all these different disagreements with pirate groups. No two are going to necessarily agree about the sort of state of what treasures should they go after. And for pirates like Luffy, this whole idea of these new age pirates is such an antithesis to them. They're telling them to effectively give up on your dreams, just go after the goal that's right in front of your face.
The low-hanging fruit.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And that it doesn't sit well with Luffy, and we eventually get to see the play out of that. But moving forward, we have the tale of Noland the Liar. They are left at the bar, and then once again encounter Blackbeard, who states that they did the right thing not fighting back there those who are not worth the effort of fighting against, and encourages Luffy on his dreams. The three go back to the ship and discover that Robin has managed to find some relevant information on the other side of the island. There is a man who might know how to reach Sky Island, Mont Blanc Cricket. On the way there, they encounter Shoju, an orangutan pirate who has a 36 million berry bounty and is also Masira's brother. But they manage to escape. They arrive at his house to find that it is empty. But they find a book, the story of Mont Blanc Nolan, a.k.a. Liar Nolan. Sanji explains that it is a fairy tale from the North Blue. The story of Nolan goes that while exploring the Grand Line hundreds of years ago, Nolan came across a city of gold. He returned to his home and informed the king, who accompanied him on the next journey to the island. However, when they reached the island, the city of gold was gone. Angered, the king sentenced him to death for lying. To his last breath, Nolan claimed that he was telling the truth and proclaimed that the city of gold must have sunk under water. However, no one would believe him, and he was executed. As it turns out, Cricket is a descendant of Nolan and was trying to prove whether it exists or not by diving into the ocean every day to search for evidence to the point of injuring himself. Chopper treats him, and they meet up with Masira and Shoju again, who helped Cricket out in his quest under the name, Sarayama Alliance. Cricket explained that if the Sky Island existed, the only way to reach it would be through the Knock-Up Stream, a humongous geyser in the ocean. In order to reach it, Cricket has the Straw Hats go into the forest to search for a south bird, a bird whose head always points south. During this time, the Sarayama Alliance upgrades the Going Merry in order to withstand the Knock-Up Stream. It was rather nice to see. All of them help out Luffy and all that, and put the fact that Luffy kicked both of their asses to help him out to achieve his dream.
Yeah. It's. I guess taking this moment to kind of talk about this a little bit. There's frankly just a lot that was kind of going on here that kind of really builds into the world. Let's start off with just for starters, the Southbird.
Mm-hmm.
As has been established in this world, compasses don't work on the Grand Line like you would expect anywhere else. So how are you going to figure out to sail south if the only things you have can only point to islands?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, having a bird that exists that always points true south, it definitely helps. And the bird is an interesting bird, and Chopper's talks with it is very interesting and quite funny.
Yeah, and it helps to Chopper's ability really helps to kind of add a little voice to the bird as a character. What do you think about Nolan himself, though?
Oh,
a chain-smoking, deep-sea diving son of a bitch.
And that he is. And of course, not decompressing as he should. He about dies from it, but yeah, it was a great character. It was nice to have someone who is that rough and tough, gruff, and somebody who's basically got his own dream that he's trying to do, even though it may seem ridiculous. He's like, screw it anyways. I'm going to do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it. So, yeah, I liked it. Everything about this I thought was a fun adventure. Trying to find the bird in this island was such a pain in the ass. It was so funny to watch them struggle to try and do that. But as things always go, they eventually find a way to make it happen, and they get the South Bird. So here's where things happen. The captain's true power, Luffy, not Luffy. What's wrong with me? Luffy versus Bellamy. Meanwhile, hearing that Cricket managed to uncover some gold, Bellamy and his crew decided to steal it from him, severely injuring him and others in the process using the Bane Bane no Mi, which spring, basically, which can turn his limbs into springs. When the crew returned with the South Bird in tow, Luffy decided to get the gold back, and while he's there also to kick Bellamy's ass. In Mocktown, new bounties were mailed in, and to everyone's surprise, they found out that Luffy's bounty was 100 million berries, and Zoro's was 60 million berries. In comparison, Bellamy only has 55 million berries, so no, he can't.
Also, just since you bring up Bellamy's bounty, a picture I thought would be worth bringing up here.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Something that we've been teased.
Yeah, we have been teased Bellamy within live action, and it's not too good of a picture.
But it's supposed to be aged, and it's going to do its job. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but this is going to be more of like a season 3 sort of thing.
Yeah, there's no way if they start Skypiea in season 2, someone needs to have their head examined, and I highly doubt Oda Sensei would allow that to be that condensed. That would be too much.
Like, I could see at best we maybe try to condense everything leading into Alabasta into season 2.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll try to pace that out a bit more, and then we'll get 2.5 seasons. Or 2 seasons doing Alabasta.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they do that, or what they skip. For all intents and purposes, I hate to say it, but if they cut out the island with the giants, I'm going to be pissed, because that's fun. They've got to have them, especially with what comes later.
The problem is, like, kind of right in there, there's so much you kind of like, you can't really cut out Logue Town, because that is so, like,
vital,
narratively important. I mean, also the fact that that's where we get to meet Smoker. That's where we get to have, I mean, especially after how much people took to Buggy, and people just love Buggy, that the actor who played Buggy in this, they have to put him in more.
Yeah, they have to have Buggy, and that's, of course, where Buggy tries to finish off Luffy, which doesn't work out, but you'd have to go watch a previous episode to see there to talk about that. So,
yeah, but we're getting sidetracked with talking about the live action.
Oh yes, back to the anime and the manga. So, in comparison, Bellamy's is only 55 million berries. Bellamy scoffs at this, claiming that they were fakes that were made to scare him. This calmed everyone down, until Luffy screamed for Bellamy to come out. Luffy demanded that Bellamy give the gold back, but he refused. Bellamy attacked him with his devil fruit powers, but Luffy still does not fight back. Angered, he decides to finish him off with his ultimate attack. Spring Hopper, while still mocking him for following dreams. So, at this point, Luffy finally becomes fed up with Bellamy's words and took him down with a single punch. All it took was one, and there it is. And it was glorious.
At this point in the anime, at this point in the series, it is the most satisfying punch.
Yes, that it is. Very
like
satisfying.
More satisfying than watching like Luffy beat Crocodile, who had kicked his ass multiple times before then. Like, it's Bellamy, this prick, who will laugh at your dreams. Like, you want to see him get his teeth knocked in.
Yep, and he does. And the terrified pirates realize that Luffy's wanted posters were actually real and run away in fear. Luffy then took the gold and went back to Cricket's house, while the remainder of the Bellamy pirates were too afraid to fight back. Upon hearing about his bounty, Blackbeard and his crew decide to strike. And then we move on to A World on the Move and the Flying Ship. So we get an episode where we kind of see where things stand with the rest of the world, the rest of the pirates. Crocodile, of course, being taken out, losing one of the 7 warlords. So there's a gathering of the warlords, which we get here. And we meet for the first time Don Flamingo Don Quixote. That bastard.
What are you talking about? He's just a humble, innocent pirate.
Humble, innocent pirate, my ass. And then we get to Dracul Mihawk. Oh, yes. One of the other 7. And, of course, we have the Admiralty there that called them. And they talk about things. We see things going about with other pirate crews. We see where a Fire Fist ends up with. He's eating food on Captain Buggy's ship. And when Buggy realizes who he is, we better not do anything to piss him off.
Which, by the way, this is such a great job of kind of setting up some just how impressive Whitebeard is.
Yes.
That Buggy is so afraid to not even lay a finger on one of his subordinates.
Yeah, he knows better. Buggy knows his place. That's the one thing I will say about him. Even though he's trying to claw up, he knows when to claw and when to not do that. And hello, Dragon Master 360, welcome to you. And yeah, Mihawk is just killing time. That he does. So,
well, also there is one of the other great warlords who I feel deserves his attention as well. Bartholomew Kuma. The good holy man.
Big man.
Why, yes, he skips leg day.
He skips leg day. Do you lift, bruh? Bruh. Yeah, I lift. Do you do legs? Bruh. Look at my legs.
Does it look like... He just looks down. I have legs?
Exactly. So yeah, one of the other warlords of the 7 warlords at this time. So we basically get an episode where all of this gets tossed about, put into place. Basically a catch up with what else is going on in the rest of the world besides just what's going on with our friends, the Straw Hat Pirates.
And
so
there's also like 1 or 2 other little things in there that I feel like should be mentioned as well. One, the fleet admiral himself appears, Sengoku.
Yes.
The man with the seagull on his hat. And a goat.
Yep. Fleet Admiral Sengoku. Actually, that was post. Let's take a look at the pre. There he is. He looks like a very serious man. But it's hard to take him serious with that bird on his head.
Don't forget his goat.
Oh, that's right. He does have the goat. So, excuse me.
Which this then had some stranger just appear out of nowhere. Lafitte. Pierre Lafitte.
Pierre Lafitte. Let's see. Ah, yes.
A man trying to vie for someone to take the place of the now vacated seat aboard the 7 warlords.
Yes, he is trying to vie for that spot. So let's cover this here real quick.
Not just for anyone, but for Big Bad Blackbeard.
Oh, that's right. He was speaking for Blackbeard, wasn't he?
So at this point, you've heard quite a bit of Blackbeard to this point. He showed up on Drum Island and caused a ruckus.
Yeah, that's right, he did.
We have Ace looking for the man.
Yeah, trying to bring him back into the Whitebeard pirates. Yep.
We have Shanks trying to get him to call off the hunt.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's true.
Shanks is worried about this. But should these two actually meet? Should the implications for what could happen from this?
Yeah, there is lots of implications with all of that. And yes, methinkus that seat might be a bit big for Lafayette. Or for Lafitte, yes. So, a world on the move and the flying ship. Somewhere else on an island in the Grand Line, the status of Buggy and his crew was shown, as Ace boarded his ship and offered to help him search for Luffy. Meanwhile, Shanks tried to contact Whitebeard only to have his letter torn up, with Whitebeard telling the messenger, Rockstar, to have Shanks meet him in person. So, Shanks sends his guy, Rockstar, to go meet with Whitebeard. And Whitebeard's like, go tell your boss to meet me in person. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, he took it as like an offense. Like, you mean to tell me that little snot-nosed upstart Shanks couldn't come in person?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how he took it, and it was interesting Shanks's response to it. So when Rockstar reports back, to which Shanks told the crew to prepare for a meeting with Whitebeard. He's like, okay, the old man wants to meet me in person. He's got it. And Shanks is starting to set certain things in motion. From what I remember about it, it's almost like he's had plans in place that with needing to have this meeting now, it starts to put other things in motion. Very intricate type of things that I think that'll get played out. So at Mary Goyce, a meeting of the Marines and the 7 Warlords of the Sea was being held to discuss what should be done about replacing the Warlord Crocodile. Much to the Fleet Admiral Sengoku's surprise, 2 of the 7 warlords, Bartholomew Kuma and Don Quixote do Flamingo, that bastard, and I say that with all due hatred. I have a feeling that this one is going to be one that I am going to love to see when he gets his ass whooped.
Is this being said with any sort of foreknowledge on your part, or are you just like you hate him?
Oh, I know I don't like him. I know that already.
I mean, let's stop to appreciate his style for a moment, if you'll humor me.
Very flamingo-like.
That's a thing. Like, each one of the warlords has a bit of an animal motif to them. I mean, obviously, Doflamingo, the pink boa like coat.
Yep.
He's obviously the flamingo. You've got crocodile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mihawk.
Hawkeye, Mihawk.
Yep.
Duh. Bartholomew Kuma, if it wasn't obvious, has a bear theme to him. He's got those little bear paws around the bottom of his coat.
Yep, I see it.
And on top of his hat, he's got 2 little bear ears.
Does he? Yes, he does have bear ears. Look at that. He's he's trying to be all bear themed. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, Sengoku's surprised that 2 of them are even there. Where then Mihawk shows up. Just when the actual meeting is about to begin, Lafitte of the Blackbeard Pirates appeared to recommend his captain as Crocodile's replacement. The people there stated that nobody has ever heard about him, but Lafayette stated that they were presently working on a plan to change that. When Luffy returned to give Cricket his gold back, he and the crew set off for the Knockup Stream, led by the Sarayuma Alliance and the Southbird. When they reached the right area, they were confronted by the Blackbeard Pirates, who revealed to the Straw Hats new bounties to them. However, before a battle ensued, the Straw Hats were caught in the Knockup Stream and sent flying into the White Sea, leaving the Blackbeard Pirates' raft to be destroyed and fall to the sea below.
One last thing about the Marie-Joy.
Mm-hmm.
Marie-Joyce. This is supposed to be like a city where all the where all of the kings and all the kings of the seas meet. This is where Vivi first met Wapol when she was a child at a big old summit.
That's right.
And the fact that Lafitte was able to get here without, like, it was nothing.
True. That would have been quite a feat for him to do that. So yeah, very nice city.
Which we really haven't seen much of at all, like outside of this odd little kind of image or two. Like, we basically don't know much about this city, so it's some place we haven't really gotten to much at all yet.
Yeah, not yet, but we will eventually.
But yeah, so the knock-up stream, to kind of pull back to what we were discussing, is the most insane idea ever.
Oh, yes.
First off, kudos to Oda for coming up with the concept, for like explaining in the show how this shit even works. That, oh, these little pockets under the ocean fill up with pressure, and eventually they just burst.
Yeah, that they do. And I'm trying to find a good video of the knock-up stream. And I think I've got it. I think I've actually got it. So I'm going to cue that up here. And for all of you that are watching on the YouTube stream, for the video clip portion of this, we're going to have to go Rumble exclusive because the yellow triangle of sadness just makes me sad. So I'm going to toss back out the Rumble link here. If you'll pop on over to it here in just a second. There we go. So we're going to take a quick little Alucard break, and then I'll shut down the stream on my end, and then we'll start the video clip portion of this stream. So the Alucard break that we're going to take is Alucard on the phone.
You've been, like, really quiet for, like, 5 minutes. Oh, I know why you're angry. It's because I went to Brazil, isn't it?
Alucard, put the police girl on the phone.
Really? You want to talk to... Okay, fine, whatever.
Hello?
Whatever you do, do not let Alucard leave that room under any circumstance.
Actually, he just left. He said he was going for a walk.
No!
Going for a walk. All right, everybody. Meet me over on the Rumble stream because I'm cutting the YouTube feed now. Take care, and we'll see you there. Let's see if I can find the button to end it here. Let's see. Just end. Just want to end that one. Just that one. Yes, I know I'm live. Want to just end that one. Come on, stop it. There we go. Okay, bye YouTube stream. And that does the YouTube stream for me. So welcome.
I'll figure out how to end this on my own stream as well, because
I can do it right here.
Oh,
there we go.